Heads floating in the ocean.
This is a regular city council meeting of the City of Ocean Shores, Washington. It is October 14th, 2025, and the time is 6 p.m. The meeting is being held at the Ocean Shores Convention Center. The meetings are simulcast and archived on KOSW Radio. Meetings are live streamed with closed captioning and may be accessed on the city website under council recordings. The meetings can be viewed on Cable 68 Thursdays at 12 p.m. and Sundays at 10 a.m. Can we have roll call, please?
Councilmember Sires?
Here.
Councilmember Taylor?
Here.
Councilmember Griebel?
Here.
Councilmember Klein?
Here.
Councilmember Scott?
Here.
Councilmember Wills?
Here.
Councilmember Hartman?
Here.
All right, thank you. Richard, would you lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance, please?
Pledge allegiance.
Can we get approval of tonight's meeting agenda?
Like to make a motion to approve tonight's meeting agenda? Second.
We have a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right, we have ceremonies and proclamations. Could I get the Community Engagement Committee to come up, please?
I'll trade you.
Yes. All right, this group is really a special group to me, for me and for the city, actually. This got started with me requesting participation of some of the citizens here in our town that did not like me, and some that did like me. And I wanted really to bring this town together, and I wanted people from both sides of the political aisle to come together, try to come up with some ideas that would bring the public together. And this group has done a really super good job. The Super Bowl, the Saturday market has just been outstanding, and they've got some other things planned to do. And I got to tell you, I'm super proud of this group, and I cannot thank them all enough for taking on the experiment, so to speak, right? Because I'm sure they all wondered how this was going to turn out. We got people that don't like each other or certainly have different political views. And I was pleasantly surprised that they worked things out. They started putting some different events together, and it's been a huge success. And so I wanted to give them recognition here in front of everybody for an outstanding job that they've done. And I'm telling you, I'm getting goosebumps on this, but I was so happy that this worked out, and they've been such a positive group for our city. So we've got a plaque here for them. I guess I can read it. We'll start with Debbie Bees. Has donated out or demonstrated outstanding dedication and service as a member of the Community Engagement Committee, playing a vital role in bringing people together and strengthening the connection between the City of Ocean Shores and its residents. That's just part of what it says, but I wanted all of you to see or hear what it said on there. So we have Debbie Bees. Kristen Hartman couldn't be here today, but we'll get her. Oh, hi, Kristen. Thank you for all your work on that. Kim Nichols. Ryan Solomon. And Connie Clifford. And I'm really proud of this group, and so I wanted to bring them in here, give them some recognition, and they're making things better here in Ocean Shores. So anyway, thank you guys.
Thank you. Thank you.
I just wanted to say something, and if I don't start crying here. We have some spouses that joined in, and they helped us a lot. There's my wife, Judy, and Doug. I don't know. He must be. Oh, there he is. And Doug and Tom. And they really did help out a lot. And Sherry Dooley was our only volunteer, but she was there when we needed her. Absolutely. But we have to thank the city. I mean, honestly, we couldn't have done it if we didn't have all of you, and if we didn't have you and our vendors. Here we go. But our vendors are the most special, and they're more like family. So if any of you are watching this, thank you very much.
I just want to echo Connie's comments and also thank the community at large, because even last year when we had maybe 3 vendors, y'all came out. You still came out. You made us part of your Saturday, and we don't take that lightly. We value everyone who's visited us, everyone who's encouraged us, thanked us, and so we will keep on plugging forward. This year, over 40 vendors, 44, and counting. So look for us next year, and we'll look forward to seeing all your smiling faces, and bring your dogs. Thanks.
Give it. All right, thank you, guys. All right, announcements, board and committee vacancies. 1 vacancy on the Planning Commission, 1 vacancy on the Lodging Tax Advisory Committee. Appointments. I would like to appoint Eugene Kim to the Lodging Tax Advisory Committee with council consensus.
Yes.
All right, thank you. We do have a Airport Advisory Committee update, and that Airport Advisory Committee Chair, Richard Sires, is going to give us a little update on things.
Thank you, Mayor Frank, councilors. Nicole, do I have my slides ready to go?
Richard, could you speak into the mic when you
Sure.
talk? Thank you.
Are my slides ready to go? Oh, there it is. Okay, all right. Yeah, Mayor and councilors, my name is Richard Sires. I am the chair of the Airport Advisory Committee. And I'd like to give our annual report on the state of the airport. I want to stress up front to everyone that we are an advisory body only. We have no budget authority. We can't spend a dime. But aviation is a complex world. It's a world of acronyms and its own special jargon and its own strange complexities. So that is the role of the advisory committee, is to assist the council and the city in making decisions when those complexities come along. The committee consists of 5 members per our charter. They're appointed by the mayor, voted on by you councilors. And our charter requires that at least 3 of them are knowledgeable in aviation. Well, we're pretty fortunate because all 5 members have a deep history in aviation. We've got a very strong bench. So that's quite an asset for the city. I have 3 things I want to talk about. The first is our Airport Appreciation Day, and then I want to talk about the recent projects that we have going on. And finally, I want to wrap up with some words about the value of the airport to the city of Ocean Shores. We consider it to be one of the crown jewels of our city, and I think you'll see why shortly. But first, slide 2, please. Okay, that view is taken looking west. You can see the airport in the foreground. It'll give you a better feel for the geography. That swampy area that you see in the foreground there is actually a heck of a lot bigger than it looks. Most people are not really aware of just what is there. It's a huge area. And there are a lot of governmental agencies, regulatory agencies, that have some say over what happens there. The U.S. Army Corps of Engineers, the Washington Historical Society, the EPA, the Washington Fish and Wildlife, the Indian Tribe, and there are others. They all have a say at any time that we touch anything in that area, which we did a couple of years ago. I'll talk about that more in a moment. Slide 3, please. Our Airport Appreciation Day, we wrapped that up 3 weeks ago, and it was a massive success. I think mostly we can thank the weather for that. We had fantastic weather. We were also much more comprehensive in our marketing this time. Thank you, Nicole. Yeah, we reached out all over Puget Sound, and it was a massive success. It was crowded. We had the Beach Boys Car Club, and they're always a big draw with their classic cars. We had airplanes from all over Puget Sound. We had 3 or 4 experimental airplanes fly in, too. And for people who are not familiar with the experimental category, that is a particular licensing airworthiness certificate variation issued by the FAA for home-built airplanes that are built in somebody's garage. And we have, it's actually a huge industry. There are more than 30,000 of them flying nationwide, and we had, I think, 4 of those fly in. So that was pretty cool. Slide 4. I think overall we had about 17 airplanes come in, and we actually ran out of room. We got to a point where the airplanes would turn the propellers off, and we would just push them into whatever space we had available. We also had food trucks. We had KOSW Radio was there giving us music all day. And the RC Flyers were there flying their little radio control airplanes in between the real airplanes coming and going. Slide 5, please. Okay, I want to talk about some of the projects past and present, but I want to say up front that most of the money that is spent on our airport comes from the FAA through FAA grants. We're very fortunate in that respect. A couple of years ago, we finished a brush removal project. Now, in that picture, you can't really see it very well. It's the down in the lower right-hand corner of the picture, at the threshold to the runway. There was a large swampy area that we had a lot of trees that had to be removed, and that was finished up just a couple of years ago. Can't see it very well there because the propeller blade is in the it's in the picture. The FAA has a very defined airspace requirement for approaches to runways. It's mathematically defined, and nothing can encroach on that airspace. No buildings, no power poles, no trees, nothing. And we did have trees growing up into it, so the FAA came along and spent a lot of money to cut those down because of, like I said earlier, all those different agencies were involved, and they all had a piece of it. We are currently working, the project that we got going on right now is our AWOS system. That is an automated weather observation system, and you can think of it as an automated transmitting weather station. Many airports have them. Hoquiam has one. Centralia has one. In fact, most of the airports in Puget Sound have an AWOS of some sort, but we do not. So the FAA is now citing that. It's already funded. And it's going to be very useful for pilots heading here from the other side of Hoquiam. What it means is that when somebody's flying to Hoquiam and they're 10 miles to the east, say, they can dial in that particular frequency, and they can hear a recording a weather recording of what the weather condition is at Hoquiam. And we're actually getting the deluxe version of the AWOS. It's an AWOS 3. It gives cloud height, which is going to be very useful because we know how the clouds can move in very quickly and then dissipate again. Looking to the future, we're looking at possibly paving the area around the hangars, although that one is kind of a long shot, but we're going to push the FAA to see what we can get there. That would potentially make our airport more attractive for hangar builders. We have 4 hangars right now, and they are paid for not by the city, but by private individuals who build the hangar. They lease the ground under the hangars. That is a common formula for airports. So if we can get that area paved, we might get more hangars in here, which would be a plus for us. Lastly on this slide, I want to talk about what is the cost to the city for running our airport. And the answer to that is one heck of a lot less than what the FAA pays. We do have to keep it mowed, and we do have to change the runway light bulbs, and we got to make sure that the windsock is working. A couple of other lights, the precision approach path lights, we've got to keep those going. All in all, in the relative scheme of things, it's not very much. And that's done by Public Works, so thank you to our Public Works Department. Okay, slide 6, please, Nicole. All right, this is our last slide. What value does the airport bring? What do the citizens of Ocean Shores get from our airport besides the ability of people to fly in and visit? Well, think back to that first slide. We are geographically isolated. We have water on 3 sides. You can think of Ocean Shores as a one-road city. There's one way in and out of here. And because of that, if that road is ever cut, and it could be cut by, say, flooding, we've already had flooding in the city. We know what that looks like. But imagine if those rains just kept going. Imagine if we did have the 200 or 300-year flood and the Highway 109 bridges collapsed or were closed. Imagine if we had an earthquake, not one big enough for a tsunami, but one big enough to destroy the bridges and cut us off. I'm talking now not for just a week or 2, but indefinitely. I don't think you have to think very hard to imagine what kind of a nightmare that would be. We could think what, helicopters could supply us. True, but fixed-wing aircraft bring in a heck of a lot more weight than helicopters do. And the thing that those fixed-wing aircraft are going to need is a runway. So we could look at the end of the day at that runway as our final and best life insurance policy. So we on the Airport Advisory Committee really think that our airport is an excellent insurance policy against catastrophe. So last item, I want to talk about what the industry trade publications are pointing to as a coming revolution in what's called urban air mobility. These are eVTOLs, electric vertical takeoff and landing aircraft. And this is a growing, massive industry. There are a number of companies that are involved in it now. These are billion-dollar companies. Their vehicles are already in flight test, and the airlines have already placed orders for them. So this is something that it's years out. This is not next year, it's not 5 years from now. But these vehicles could potentially be the sort of thing that you could call up on your phone like an Uber, and they would land at our airport, take you to Olympia, take you to SeaTac Airport. Like I said, it's something that would be at least 5 years out, maybe 10, no guarantee. But again, Without our airport, without a runway, it would never happen. So that concludes my annual report. So council, any questions?
Any questions from council? All right, I guess not. Thank you, Richard.
Okay. Thank you.
So next we have public communication to council, and it is intended for communication to the city council regarding general council business or policy not on tonight's agenda. Address comments or questions to the city council body, not an individual member or to city staff. Please limit your comments to 3 minutes. We ask that the comments be nice and respectful. This is not a question and answer time, and the council cannot engage in conversation with the public. No person may use the public comment for the purpose of campaign or advertisement. The city council will begin the time once the citizen has started their public comment. At 2 minutes, you will see a green light followed by a yellow light indicating 30 seconds remain of the public comment period. A red light will notify the reader that the public comment time has ended. The order of public comments will be first individuals attending in person, second individuals attending remotely. General public comments, whether in person or remotely, will continue in the usual position on the agenda. Public comment for agenda items will be removed, that are removed, will be addressed following the conclusion of general public comments. So who do we got up first?
All right, we have no online public comment tonight, so it's just 3. Don Coons, speeding and reckless driving on Mount Olympus.
Good evening. My name is Dawn Coons. We recently moved here to Ocean Shores in May of 2024, and we really enjoy this city. I am currently the art docent at Ocean Shores Elementary, so I have special interest in children and students. My address is 509 Mount Olympus International Raceway, otherwise known as Avenue Southeast. This evening, I'm here to bring to your attention the speeding cars that we have. It is greatly concerning us. We have a lot of animals that live on our street because our home is directly across the street from the lake, and there's a little opening there, and so I can have up to 15 deer in my yard each evening. We also have raccoons, a family of 5 that live in the trees. But most importantly, we have students, and the school is probably about a half a mile away from my home. Students are walking, children are playing, and they're catching the bus there too. But it seems that nobody pays much attention to the speed limit signs. So the logistics are, the posted speed limit sign in front of the school states that it's 20 miles per hour, and that's when school is in session or until 4 o'clock. And that makes sense. But the next signpost, which is right near my home, jumps up the speed limit to 30 miles per hour. Very, very few drive 30 miles per hour. If I had to guess, I would say that 2 out of 10 cars travel down this road are actually driving 30 miles per hour. The rest are going 35 or more. Thursday is a day it all begins. Before the weekend, trucks pulling trailers, motorhomes, cars, they're just blasting through. And we can hear it and we see it. Also, large trucks pulling trailers with heavy load equipment do not go 30 miles per hour. The other day, we had a car pass another car. And then a week later, we had a car pass another car. So I'm here to bring this to your attention. I have visited the police department a couple different times. There was, oops.
That's time.
Okay.
Lillian Broadbent, Transparency.
My name is Lillian Broadbent. I'm an old lady, a long time member of this community. And recently, I've heard the word transparency used in relationship to our city. And I will tell you that in 1998, I had to pay $50 to get a copy of the budget. If I wanted to listen to to the recording from a planning commission meeting, I had to sit in the city manager's office with the city clerk and be monitored while the tape played. We are doing an incredible job as a city with providing transparency to the citizens. It is amazing how easy it is to get accurate information. And it is easy to go watch or replay some of the committee meetings. Not all, but most. The minutes are now indicative of what really went on. That was not always the case. I want to compliment all of you and our city. It hasn't come at a minor cost. If you submitted a public records request in the good old days, they could just say no, and they didn't hesitate. One of the reasons that my husband and I joined with some others and pushed for a change in the form of government, because under the old form, the citizens didn't stand a chance. Today, it is easy to get accurate and comprehensive information. And I hope that you continue to monitor that and make sure it continues to happen. It has cost us a great deal. We've had to hire a public records request clerk, an additional clerk, to keep up with them. Now, hopefully, with all of the stuff going online, the need for that will diminish. But we probably always will bear that expense. But it is a small expense to ensure that information, things that go on in the city, are readily available to anyone who wants to check it out. I would hope that maybe one of your future meetings, town halls, could outline what transparency really is and the opportunities for citizens to take advantage of that. I don't know when, but soon. Thank you.
All right, and then finally tonight, Kurt Dooley, Airport.
Good evening, Council and Mayor and citizens. My name is Kurt Dooley. I wanted to speak in support of the Airport Advisory Committee's presentation. Mr. Sires is absolutely right. Ocean Shores is a one-road city, one way in, one way out. In the event of a flood, a major storm, or a Cascadia-level earthquake, that road could be gone in an instant. Scientists tell us that a tsunami isn't always a towering 50-foot wave like you see in the movies. Depending on the event, it can also just be a broad surge of water that pushes several inches or even a foot of seawater across low-lying terrain in the city. That's still enough to damage roads, bridges, and culverts and cut us off from the outside world. The reality is we could be isolated for weeks. When that happens, the airport will be our lifeline, the one way to get supplies in and people out when every other route is compromised. Right now, our airport runway is just over 3,100 feet long and about 50 feet wide, and that's fine for small personal planes or light utility aircraft. but it's too narrow and too light for the kind of planes that bring real relief supplies. I'm kind of drawn on my Air Force and my emergency management experience, but I know that a military C-130, for example, is built specifically for emergency logistics. It can carry food, water, generators, medical equipment into disaster zones. Its manual says it can safely operate from runways as short as 3,000 feet, so the length is not a problem, but it needs to be at least 80 feet of width and a much stronger pavement base than what we currently have here. And because it's designed for rough field operations, the C-130 could even land here if the runway were strong enough and even under a few inches of water. So this isn't about adding length so much as building strength and width, making sure our runway can handle the weight, the turning radius, and the wingspan of a large transport aircraft. It's an investment in resilience, not luxury. When the day comes that the bridges on Highway 109 are impassable and the city's covered in standing water, the only way to get supplies in or out, or patients out, will be by air. We don't have to build a military-grade base, but it's worth exploring upgrades to the airport that could strengthen our emergency readiness. Even beginning those conversations, looking at future widening pavement capacity in state or federal partnerships, could put us in a stronger position if disaster ever strikes. The airport committee's message tonight gives us something important to think about. Strengthening the airport may be one of the most practical ways to protect our residents and safeguard our future. Thank you.
Well, that concludes public comment. Next up, we have the city administrator's report.
All right, good evening, Mayor, Council, citizens. This will be fairly short, but I have to read this one off the phone. This was sent to me by our fire chief. Just a couple reminders here. The fire department cadet program will start again at Thursday at 7 p.m. at the Ocean Shores Fire Department, and it is open to anyone ages 14 to 18, but must have parent and guardian attend the first meeting and must have parent and guardian consent. So if you have a youth in your family that's between the age of 14 that wants to learn more about the fire department and what it's like to be a firefighter, paramedic, or EMT, I would highly encourage you to come to that event Friday at 7 o'clock. Fire Safety Week at the elementary school. Firefighters are visiting the school this week to talk about fire safety. And then Ocean Shores Firefighters Association Halloween event, October 31st at the Convention Center. And that's our annual Halloween event that we do every year. It's always very popular, from 6 to 9. And now I have to switch over. I apologize to get my calendar up because I believe it is, yes. So on the 16th at 10 o'clock, you will hear sirens from the emergency management for tsunami for a earthquake table exercise. So please do not be panicked by those. They are at an unusual time, but it is for the preparation and making sure that our sirens are working. And then there will also be for the Department of Emergency Management. And then the city will also be preparing a function that we will act as though there an actual emergency had taken place, an earthquake. So just notice to citizens not to panic if you hear that at 10 o'clock on the 16th. And then I have a few other reports here that are quick. One is a fresh waterways update. Throughout the summer and fall months, our lakes and canals see numerous algae and aquatic plants come to the surface. While the city does test for toxic algae, cyanobacteria, there are other algae and aquatic plants that are not toxic and do not warrant posting for cyanobacteria because they're non-toxic. A simple stick test can be performed to determine if further laboratory testing is needed, but always remember, when in doubt, stay out. If you do suspect cyanobacteria in your location and perform a stick test, literally all you have to do is put a clear stick into the water. If it sticks to it, it may be toxic algae. If not, it most likely isn't. Wear gloves, use a sturdy stick, push firmly into the suspected algae, and remove the stick slowly. And then we have a number of pictures that are available of different types of algae, and they are on the city website where you can find those. And I believe they're also on the city Facebook page as of today, correct? Thank you. A few other notes very quickly. There will be an article that will be coming up in the next edition of the Ocean Shores Observer. We took Stephanie Morton down there to see Damon Point. It will be a whole section on Damon Point and why it is closed, and it will offer you photos. It'll be very well worth reading, so check that out in the Ocean Shores Observer. You'll find some fascinating facts about what's going on in a very, very living ecosystem. We had two of our issues for our marketing campaign that came out, two of our videos on Como 4 Seattle Refined and King 5 Seattle Evening Magazine. If you haven't seen those, they are also available on the city website and the city Facebook page. And it's just part of our marketing effort to draw more people and more attention to the city and all the amenities that we have to offer that people don't know about. And then lastly, I will add one thing to Richard Sires and Kurt Dooley's comments tonight, and that is because I have seen this twice now since I have been here. Another emergency management function of that airport isn't just for a natural disaster, it's for individuals who had a disaster. We have had to fly people out on life flight before in order to save their lives. I've been a part of that on two occasions. One involved a plane crash, one involved a very serious stroke. And so it is not just for emergency management functions, but it is for individuals that need to be rushed up to Seattle and Tacoma for emergency procedures that without that ability to land in the city would otherwise most likely not make it. So that concludes my report for tonight. Thank you.
All right, thanks, Scott. We're on to council liaison reports and committee reports. Richard, could you start us off?
Thank you. So as always, I signed warrants. I attended the Fresh Waterways Advisory Board. There were two things of note. One, the Fresh Waterways Nonprofit Corporation announced during that meeting that they're going to close shop. It's just time. And those of us trustees that have participated in the advisory board, sad to see that happen. But at my age, I don't want to wave around a live chainsaw on a rocking boat. I just don't have the balance anymore, and I'm one of the younger guys on that committee. So anyway, that's closing. The other thing that I thought was remarkable is we were told that Aquatex, who recently sprayed the canals for our weed control, that they say that the grass carp are all died out. Well, I don't think that that's true. And my invitation, if you happen to come across a dead grass carp carcass, put it in your freezer and call the Freshwater Advisory Board. Somebody will come and pick it up. And the reason for that is we'll send it in and have it tested genetically. So then we will really know, are those carp actually still sterile as they claim, or is something else going on? So if you come across a grass carp, whether you catch one inadvertently by snagging it some way or find a dead carcass, save it, put it in your freezer bag, put it in the freezer, and let us know, and somebody will come by in the next day and pick it up, and we'll send it off to the labs for testing. And that's all actually. Oh, I attended the Hotel Coalition on October the 2nd. The Hotel Coalition is a group of hoteliers who are working to get better communication between the hotel industry and the city. And it's a group of dedicated hotel owners, hotel managers, and so forth. So it was a productive meeting, and not much else to say on that. That's all I have. Thank you.
All right, thanks, Richard. Rich.
I attended agenda setting. Thank you.
All right. Allison?
I signed warrants.
Lisa, Scott?
I attended agenda setting, the library board meeting, and also several golf course meetings. So thank you.
Lisa Griebel?
Thank you, Mayor. I have nothing to report.
Tom?
Sorry, I missed the Parks Board meeting.
All right. Denise?
I also attended agenda setting, and we had our first LTAC meeting. We reviewed 13 applicants. We are requesting several of them to come back to provide us more information. We had initially set our next meeting for October 21st, but that has been changed to October 31st. And we are planning a third meeting after that. Oh, I also wanted to thank the mayor for another peek at the medical clinic progress. It's amazing. Thank you, Becky, for it moving right along on time.
All right, thank you. Consent agenda, can we get a motion to approve?
Motion to approve tonight's consent agenda?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Right,
Aye.
unanimous. All right, old business. An ordinance of the City Council of the City of Ocean Shores, Washington, establishing Ocean Shores Municipal Code, Chapter 17.49, relating to short-term rentals, providing for servability and establishing an effective date. And that will be presented by our city clerk, Nicole Birch.
Hi, change. So after the last council meeting, we took your changes that you want, which were basically just two of them. The first change is in 17.49.060A. It's page 4 of the ordinance and page 22 of the agenda. The occupancy cap, we removed that to match the occupancy provided in the certificate of occupancy. The second change is in 17.49.115, page 7 of the ordinance, page 25 of your agenda. This change is added for clarification. There was the concern that without this language, the code would be interpreted to allow appeals even for properties that would not necessarily be eligible to be a short-term rental in their current zone. So those were the two changes.
All right, thanks. This is the second reading. Do we have any public comment? Yes, go ahead.
Jan Hyatt, Ocean Shores. Thank you, Council and Mayor. First of all, I did print it off, and this vacation rental good neighbor policy is wonderful. And I'm hoping that it will, in the future, be posted on the webpage, city webpage. It applies not only to rentals, it applies to owners, and there's just tons of good information in here. I do have a question on page 5. It's number G. Information signage shall be posted conspicuously inside the dwelling. All right, and that includes, I think, 12 different items, which I'm not sure where you would post this trash and recycling requirements, noise and use restrictions, all kinds of things, which is fine. And I'm wondering if the city might consider putting together a booklet that would provide this information, and the owner or the landlord could set it in the kitchen counter someplace and say, here it is. If you have a question, please take a look at this. And because, again, there's so much information, I'm not sure where you could post it. Also, it says that on number 13, this on page 5, the City of Ocean Shores Good Neighbor Policy must be provided to all renters and posted on all advertisements, indicating that the renter is responsible for complying with the OSMC and that the renter and owner may be cited or fined, et cetera, et cetera. Could the city come up with a statement that would be legally correct and that could be given to the people that would want to that need to advertise and advertise? Because I can't imagine all of the wording that people would put together to comply with number 13 on page 5. So hopefully the city might consider some type of verbiage for that. So thank you. And this is much, much better. So thank you for all the work.
All right, thanks. Do we have another person that wishes to comment? I don't see any. Council. Yes, Lisa Scott.
I'd like to go ahead and make a motion to approve the ordinance of the City Council of the City of Ocean Shores, Washington, establishing Ocean Shores Municipal Code Chapter 1749 relating to short-term rentals, providing for severability, and establishing an effective date.
Second.
We have a second. All in favor?
Aye.
All right, unanimous. Thank you. All right, we're going to recess this meeting at 6:45 and convene into a special meeting for the Transportation Benefit District, and that will be presented by our project manager, Becky Leach.
Good evening, everybody. So there's one request tonight that needs action from the TBD board. It is on page 31 of the agenda inside the TBD agenda. The project is for bridge repairs on the Overlake Bridge. The 2025 bridge inspection report showed critical findings at the Overlake Bridge, which triggered required repairs. One of the piles and a cap on the bridge they're both suffering from rot. The piles are the vertical structures that the bridge is built on, and the cap is the beam that is on top of the piles that supports the bridge top that the traffic actually drives over. The specific area is the southeast corner of that bridge. The bridge is currently closed for safety reasons and is required to remain closed until the repairs are complete. WSDOT has come down and they've provided an estimate to do both of those repairs. And I asked them, like, how much work is this? How long is this going to take? And the response I got was they pretty much do these two types of repairs in their sleep. So the bridge, as soon as this goes through TBD board approved by council, they'll get it on their schedule. I know a lot of times with bridge repairs, when a bridge is closed, it's 6 months, a year, or longer. And I just want everybody to know this is going to be a pretty quick repair. So that's the best news. So
Thanks. And Becky, we get the bridges inspected every 2 years?
every 2 years for the timber bridges, and then the other every 2 years is for the concrete bridges, and every 5 years is underwater bridge inspections.
All right, thanks. Council, any questions? Oh. No public comment. That's why I thought I said council. Oh, okay.
So what I need is for council to make a motion to approve a request of the Transportation Benefit District Number 1 Board to approve the 2025 budget request number 6. So the cost for the repairs is $75,952.50.
All right. Yes, Lisa, and then Richard.
I would like to go ahead and make a motion to approve budget request number 6 for $75,952.50 for bridge repairs on the Overlake Bridge.
Second.
Right, we got a second. All in favor?
Aye.
All right,
Thank you.
hold on. Yeah. You seconded it, so I figured you didn't have anything to say. All right, great. All right, it passed unanimous. Thank you, council. We will close this special meeting of the Transportation Benefit District and reconvene our regular council meeting at 6:48. All right, we have new business, and this is a resolution of the City Council of the City of Ocean Shores, Washington, rescinding and terminating Emergency Proclamation 2020-01, Executive Order 2020-02, 2020-03, 2020-04, 2020-05, 06, 07, 08, 10, 11, 16, and 17. All of those executive orders. And that's going to be presented by our city administrator, Scott Anderson.
I'd like to thank the mayor for reading that so I don't have to. Thank you. So this has sort of been a long time coming, but there's also a couple complications. So during the COVID-19 pandemic, the late mayor, Crystal Dingler, brought forward a number of emergency proclamations and emergency orders. Several of those expired, and I'll give you the ones that expired, and there's also one other catch. So 2020-09, you may be wondering, where's 2020-09? Well, it never existed. It was just skipped in the numeric, for numeric reasons that, are just obviously an error. Obviously, there is a real sense of urgency in bringing these forward. There were a lot of people that were calling the city calling the mayor constantly. What are we doing to fight the pandemic? Are we closing the city? Some people wanted it closed. Some people thought it was a hoax. So, everyone, just from everything. So a lot of these were rushed out very, very quickly. So number 9 never even existed. 2012 expired. Some of them were set to expire the way they were written, would expire when the governor's orders lapsed or when the county said that this is no longer necessary. But for whatever reason, not all of them contain that language. So what we are getting rid of tonight are the ones that did not contain that language. But 2012 expired on June 20th of 2020. Number 13, 2013 was never ratified by the council. 14 expired on June 20th of 2020, and 15 was never ratified by the council. So in truth, because there never was a number 9, we're talking about 16 different proclamations and or executive orders. This is a very simple resolution, but a little complex in the way that it had to be researched because we had to make sure we got everything in it. But this basically rescinds and terminates everything that was associated with the COVID pandemic that was passed by council and put in place by the late Mayor Dingler.
All right, thanks, Scott. Is there any public comment out there? Seeing none, how about council? I don't know who was up. Was your hand up first, Richard? Let's go with you first.
Okay, well, I was going to make a motion. Do you want to make a motion? Do you have a comment? I'll make a motion. I'd like to make a motion to approve a resolution of the City Council of the City of Ocean Shores, Washington, rescinding and terminating Emergency Proclamation 2020-01. Thank you. Executive Order 2020-02, Executive Order 2020-03, Executive Order 2020-04, Executive Order 2020-05, Executive Order 2020-06, Executive Order 2020-07, Executive Order 2020-08, Executive Order 2020-10, Executive Order 2020-11, Executive Order 2020-16, and Executive Order 2020-17.
Second.
All right, we have a second. All in favor?
Aye.
All right, unanimous. Thank you. All right, next we have a request of the City Council of the City of Ocean Shores, Washington to approve a contract through CDW for Intite to perform the migration from on-premise servers to cloud services. And that's presented by our City Administrator, Scott Anderson, and our IT technician, Xander Johnstone.
And I don't know if we want to give him a microphone because I know this. Oh, it's going to work. It's working. Okay. Just want to make sure. And that's an apology because these are new prescriptions and I can't see anything 20 feet away from me. So the City of Ocean Shores is looking to migrate to a third-party cloud file service with a group called Ignite. This will allow the city to offload on-premise resources. Currently, we have things in a large file database that's actually located in the city, and in the event of catastrophic loss or failure, this way we will still be able to access all of our data because it will be in the cloud. The service is going to also improve some important issues such as public records requests, the accessibility of getting on our servers through limiting the VPN process, and access and share files from any device, and ensure secure sharing with full encryption. It is a 5-year contract. The total amount is $300,000. And I only know the very, very basics about the cloud and how it operates. I mean, I use it with a lot of my personal devices, but I figured for any real technical questions that came from the council and or the citizens, I would have Xander here to answer them. So he will be able to speak to those vastly better than I will. And I guess we can turn it over to public comment.
All right. We have any public comment? I don't see any. Council? Any questions or comments? Go ahead, Lisa.
Go ahead and make a motion or request of the City Council of the City of Ocean Shores, Washington, to approve the contract through CDW for Ignite to perform the migration from on-premise servers to cloud servers.
Second.
All right, we have a second. All in favor?
Aye.
All right, thank you. Unanimous.
Stellar, Xander. Tough job tonight.
Did a great job. All right, next we have a request of the City Council of the City of Ocean Shores, Washington to authorize an increase in garbage and recycling rates effective January 1st, 2026, pursuant to the city's garbage and curbside recycling contract with LeMay Incorporated. And that's going to be presented by our City Administrator, Scott Anderson.
Okay, we've done this many times before, and city representatives, every year we receive a rate increase from LeMay in the index for our garbage and recycling rates. It's linked to the city's contract and the consumer price index. And as always, we bring Roger Swalwell out here from LeMay, if he wants to come up here, to answer your questions. And even I have a question, and I unfortunately would have not blindsided Roger with this, but he was enjoying himself much more than I was on vacation. So go ahead.
So thank you, Mayor, Council, and staff. As Scott kind of took away from me, I am Roger Swallander, District Manager of LeMay's, and I'd like to explain the rate structure that we do follow per contract. So like Scott was saying, that it is structured so that it's per the consumer price index of previous year. This year, the consumer price index was 2.29%, and of that, we only raised the rates 80% of that, making a 1.89% increase on that part of it. It is also per contract that we pass through the disposal increases, and this year the disposal increase is going up $1.50 a ton. That actually makes out to be 1.0008 cents per pound, so very minimal. With that, all combined, the most common service that is provided that people take advantage of is the 65-gallon every other week. And this year that's going up 61 cents a month. So pretty minimal compared to previous years and other times. So questions? I think Scott had one.
Actually, no, I did.
We're going to have public comment.
Public comment first, yeah. Go ahead.
Okay.
Anybody, public comment? Yes, go ahead.
Good evening, council members. I'm David Lynn, 17-year resident of Ocean Shores. The rate increase being discussed this evening is permitted under the agreement signed between the City of Ocean Shores and Harold LeMay Enterprises on June 27th, 2011. While the initial term expired on June 30th of 2016, the agreement provided for automatic 5-year renewals at the expiration of the primary term and any extensions thereof. Further provided that either party may terminate the agreement, giving the other party a 180 days written notice prior to the next renewal date, and that next renewal date would be June the 30th, 2026, so coming up in a little less than a year. One of the problems we've had with LeMay is that garbage containers lack adequate bear resistance. While they work some of the time, they too frequently fail. And there are other designs, such as that from Kodiak or Rarig, both of which are certified by the Interagency Grizzly Bear Committee as bear resistant. And the Kodiak container is also certified to be black bear resistant with the Wildlife Management Institute. I think we should negotiate a change with LeMay to provide one of these or equivalent bear-proof containers rather than the current models. Alternatively, we could consider having LeMay provide a monthly fee reduction for individuals purchasing their own certified container. Another idea might be to change LeMay's operating hours in Ocean Shores with collections starting at 8 a.m. rather than 6, so that people will not feel the need to put out their garbage containers the night before collection day. That would go a long way toward reducing the problem with bears tipping over the containers. So, thank you for your time.
All right, thanks. Any other comment? All right, council? Yes, Richard.
So I'd like to address that public comment, specifically bear proofing. And this is anecdotal, but my experience, if you have a cat and put your cat litter in your garbage can, the bears don't bother it. all of my neighbors' garbage cans get tipped over. Mine never does, and I attribute it to the cat litter in the garbage can. And I see some head shaking no. That's just my anecdotal comment.
All right. Anybody else?
Oh, I was just gonna. So when I saw David Lynn get up, I just had this hunch he was going to address what I was going to address because that is what something Scott Harris had talked about. He says that Scott Harris is the representative from Fish and Wildlife. For those who don't know, that there are the possibility of obtaining, maybe not this year, but long term, better receptacles or better lock devices to keep the bears out. That he's seen other models, and if LeMay could look into getting those, that would be highly appreciative because we have obviously a very unique situation in Ocean Shores. With regards to our bears, there's a lot of drama that gets that comes out of their getting into trash cans, and I think would go a long way to mitigate complaints within the city if we could find some way to obtain trash cans that would be more bear-proof. I realize they're smart creatures; they figure things out pretty quickly, but I've just been told by Fish and Wildlife that these things do exist.
Can I comment?
You can.
Okay. And with that, Scott, very well. We are researching that, and I'd like to open up conversations with the city about that. And I'd sent out an email previously about that. That is good. With that, also, what we found, I also managed down in Peninsula, which is a Waco, and they do have a similar situation, and they do have some Rarick carts, and they have the same, and they also have the type that we're using now. It's a toss-up either way. Yes, the Rarick are certified, but they still are accessible by bears, just to tell you the truth. So, yes, I am open to discussion on that. Totally am, because I would love to do away with the problem of the bear situation as well as everybody else. So I'm on board with that. We'll have a conversation, please.
All right. Thanks. Yes, Lisa.
I just want to, I imagine you lose the containers too, so it's not just, sorry.
Actually, they're a high maintenance thing, those containers. They really haven't turned out to be as well. They don't work as well as we thought, and the maintenance on them is very high. The cost of them is really more than what we're charging right now.
And I understand, unions, timing and everything, but Mr. Lynn did make a good point. Would there ever be a possibility to maybe change garbage pickup time?
We would have to look at that. I never disclose anything. I mean,
sure.
to rule anything out, because I always want to work with all of our cities, and be as partners. And I won't rule anything out. Logistically, there could be some challenges, yes, but there's logistic challenges all over the place with us. So I usually just give it to my supervisor and say, make this work. So we'll see. Okay.
Well, thank you. If, our contract is coming up, it might be just a time to have a conversation about it.
And, the contract was identified that it is coming up, but that doesn't mean that we have to wait for contracts to come up to speak and make adjustments and stuff. That's what I've always tried to address is I want to take care of situations as they come up, not wait till the end of a contract and have many of them. So I'm open to any discussion anytime.
Thank you. And with that, if nobody else has anything, I'd like to go ahead and make a request of the City Council of the City of Ocean Shores, Washington, to authorize an increase in garbage and recycling rates effective January 1st, 2026, pursuant to the city's garbage and curbside recycling contract with LeMay Inc.
Second.
All right. We have a second. All in favor?
Aye.
All right. Thank you. Unanimous.
Thank you.
All right. We have a request of the City Council of the City of Ocean Shores, Washington, to accept Emergency Rapid Response SFY 26 grant funding from the Washington State Department of Commerce, and that's going to be presented by Project Manager Becky Leach and Grant and Project Management Assistant Tim Hiles.
Thank you. The State Department of Commerce has awarded the City of Ocean Shores $864,727 for repair and additions to the berm on Marine View Drive, as well as erosion repairs at both Mariner and Pacific Courts on the bay side. There's no match for this grant. Requirements have already been met for the Marine View Drive berm project. And they include the SEPA checklist, historical preservation study, tribal consultation, which is in process, and using our local procurement process, paying state labor wages, and providing appropriate backup documentation when requesting reimbursements. As the scope develops for Peninsula and Mariner Court, those same requirements will be followed.
All right, thanks. Any public comment? All right, council? Go ahead, Richard.
I was at Mariner Court earlier today on my cycle, and we really need that berm in there. It's astonishing how much that has eroded away.
Absolutely.
Yes, Lisa.
I just wanted to say great job. That's a huge win for the city. So thank you very much for you guys' diligence on that.
Thank you.
Go ahead, Richard.
I'd like to make a motion to approve the request of the City Council of the City of Ocean Shores, Washington, to accept the Emergency Rapid Response FY26 grant funding from the Washington State Department of Commerce.
Second.
All right, we have a second. All in favor?
Aye.
All right, thanks, unanimous. Thanks again, Tim. You did a great job on that. All right, we don't have any discussion, no executive session. Agenda review, which will be Thursday, October 16th at 9 a.m. will be Council Members Scott, Taylor, and Klein. And next we have good of the order, and we'll start with Denise.
I just also wanted to call out the Community Engagement Committee, and so happy to see them recognized as one of those people who have gone to the market when there were 3 vendors, and now the many vendors, as well as the Super Bowl party. They really have done a tremendous job. So thank you to all of those on the committee. I also wanted to call out the Friends of the Library. We had a volunteer recognition this week, and many of you, I don't know if you know, but the Friends of the Library provide all of the funding for the programs at the library, whether that's summer reading, Santa coming, and they do it by selling the books. There are people who process the books. There are people who help at all of the children's programs. We work the book sale, and truly they are just a tremendous asset to the library. And also a quick thank you to Tim and to Becky for getting the Commerce grant. It's tremendous.
Right, thanks. And if you go to the book sale and you see something that you might like, just grab it. It's not that expensive, because I went back and it was gone. So don't be indecisive when you go there. Go ahead, Tom.
I want to give a shout out to the Mariners. Okay? I mean, that's probably extremely important. They're doing a great job, and hopefully they win every step.
Yes, Denise?
If he's calling out the Mariners, I will call out the Kraken, who won their season opener.
Yes, they did. Lisa Griebel.
Thank you, Mayor. I just want to thank Scott Anderson for reminding us of the upcoming Great Shakeout on 10/16 at 10/16. So in addition to hearing the tsunami sirens and our city participating in an earthquake and tsunami drill, all the schools in the area do. So please be prepared if you're out and about for all of the school children that will be trekking around and trying to escape. So you will see lots of kids around. So don't be startled by the tsunami sirens, and be mindful of all the students and staff that are out and about.
Right, thanks. Lisa Scott.
I want to echo both what Denise and Tom said. Also, just a reminder that this weekend is Music Festival. Just going to be a lot of tourists in town for this event. So if you're going out to restaurants, please be patient. Grocery store, just remember to be patient. We do rely on that tax revenue. I wanted to give a reminder, we will be having a study session at the next council meeting. What date is that? 28th, sorry, October 28th. We're going to start at 4:30 to 5:30. I'll go from 4:30 to 5:30, and Sarah is going to be our city finance director. Sarah will be updating us on the budget, where we're at. We're almost at the end of our first year in the biennial budget. She's going to be updating us on where that's at, whether or not we have any amendments that will be coming necessary, and where we're at with the fund balance. So 4:30 on the 28th, and go Mariners.
Thank you. Allison?
I think it's all been said.
All right. Richard?
Ditto.
All right. Can I get a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Oh, Rich.
Rick.
Mr. Hartman, I
Well,
apologize. I
this
didn't.
is
You're not sitting in front of us now. You're off to the side, see, so it was
where I belong.
easy to forget. Go ahead.
If we're doing sports call-outs, then I'll call out the WSU Cougars for almost beating number 4 in the nation, Ole Miss. And then that's all.
All right. I did tell you my nephew's going to play baseball there. He signed his letter of intent at
Congratulations.
Oregon State.
Oh, even better. Go Bees.
All right. We got a motion to adjourn? All right. We're adjourned.
This has been a live presentation of North Beach TV. We now return you to our regular programming. Already in progress.